In a couple of minutes' time. A group of daredevil thrill seekers want to jump off the side of the QE2 bridge over the Thames. The adrenaline junkies want to have permission to throw themselves off the 65-metre tall bridge and then open parachutes as they glide down to the banks of the river. In a moment we'll hear from Max Hurd. He's with the Group UK Pro Base Team. First of all, Alex Bish explains more about what base jumping actually is.
Base jumping is often featured in James Bond films, such as the pre-credit sequence to The Spy Who Loved Me, the jump from the Eiffel Tower in A View to a Kill, from the Rock of Gibraltar in The Living Daylights, and in Die Another Day when Bond jumps from a melting iceberg. Between 1981 and 2007, there have been at least 120 fatalities related to the sport.
Well, Max Hurd joins me now from the UK Pro Base Team. And Max, first of all, it's established that your group is only to do with legal base jumping, isn't it?
Yes, that's correct.
So why the QE2 bridge? You quite like the idea of that, do you?
Well, just recently it was jumped by somebody in the middle of the night, which garnered some news coverage in the local papers. And when asked, we said, well, we could do that, and we could provide a solution to the situation where people are unhappy about people jumping by creating a situation where we can jump, we can organise it, and we can take care of all the administration and safety problems associated with something like that.
Would it involve having to close the road?
No. No, you can set up something where there's either an access walkway underneath or something like that, or if you are jumping from the rail, it can be shielded from passing cars so that no driver's distracted and no accidents are going to occur.
Have you done this in similar places to the M25?
I've not jumped off the bridge, no, but there's a lot of places all around the world where I've jumped: bridges, buildings, cliffs, antennas, all kinds of stuff. I've been base jumping for over 12 years now and have over 450 base jumps.
So tell me why you enjoy it by doing it, because it seems to me you have to be mad to do this.
Well, we enjoy base jumping just because it's the kind of thing that everybody enjoys about their own kind of sport. It's exciting, it's fun, it's challenging, it's different. You meet new people, you go to places all around the world. It's just the same as any other activity, really, when you think about the attractions of it.
So if, say, for example, you were to go through and jump from the QE2 bridge, how would that work then? Would you land in the water?
No, there's land to either side of the water. What you do is you set up an exit point at a point where you could actually glide and land on dry land. I mean, you could land in the water, of course, but then you get your gear wet and you'd have to dry it before you could jump again.
Yeah, just have to swim to the side. Yeah. Is there a best time of year to do this, or a best time of day?
Well, with the weather that it is in UK, there isn't the best time of year anymore. What we're looking for is just like reasonably calm, windless conditions and not too much rain or anything like that.
And at the moment, these are in the very embryonic stages, aren't they?
Well, base jumping's been around a long, long time now, ever since parachutes were really used for sport parachuting over 30 years ago. But now we're at the stage where we're starting to move from running around in the middle of the night and jumping off things without anybody noticing us to actually putting together organisations like UK Pro Base and other organisations around the world to gain access to buildings and to structures that we generally can't get hold of normally, and to organise legal, sanctioned and open and public display base jumping.
OK, Max, thanks so much for joining us, telling us about that. Max Hurd, who's from the Group UK Pro Base Team. And we'll talk more about this after the travel news, actually. On BBC Radio Kent, it's just after 5:15. Here's Barry.
Thank you very much, Matt. London bound on the M20 between Junction 3 at the M26 and Rootham at Junction 2. There's an accident blocking one lane. Highways Agency are on the scene there. At the Dartford River crossing, it's slow coming into Kent across the QE2 bridge with congestion back as far as Lakeside at Junction 30. Seems to be just easing off a little bit anti-clockwise, though, up towards the Dartford Tunnel on the M25. In Rochester, the A289 at Anthony's Way is still closed for recovery work after the earlier overturned car, which is causing queuing traffic on the approach to the Medway Tunnel this afternoon. Congestion goes back as far as Wainscott Road now on the approach there. In Rochester itself, Corporation Street up towards the Rochester Bridge is slow moving, and in Chatham, Railway Street, also Medway Street is slow moving as well. In Maidstone, temporary traffic lights causing delays at the junction of Tunbridge Road and Queen's Road. Elsewhere, just busy but moving around the town centre. In Canterbury, Sturry Road and Kingsmead Road, heavy traffic there around the Tortel roundabout, also slow on Pin Hill and busy on Broad Street around the Ring Road at St George's roundabout. On the railways we have no major hold-ups to tell you about. You're up to date with BBC Radio Kent Travel. I'm Barry Lewis. There's more in 15 minutes.
OK, thanks for that, Barry. Now, earlier before the travel news, we were hearing about base jumping. We heard from Max Hurd, who's from the group UK Pro Base Team. I should actually point out it's the Essex force that polices the QE2 rather than Kent. They tell us they're strongly against any base jumping from the bridge. We also spoke with the Highways Agency and Le Crossing, that's the company that collects tolls and operates the bridge on behalf of the Department of Transport. They said no pedestrians will be allowed on the bridge. They can't condone any action that would put others at risk. And earlier I spoke to Roger Vincent from ROSPA, that's the Royal Society for the Prevention of Accidents, and he wasn't too keen either.
Obviously anybody doing this type of stunt needs to be properly trained, needs to have all the right equipment, etc., and then they can make a judgment as to whether they want to try. But if you're doing it on a piece of public property, then of course ideally you should be getting the owner's permission, otherwise you could find yourself in trouble. If you're doing it on a busy motorway, then you're likely to be breaking the law before you even start, because you're going to be a pedestrian on that motorway, and therefore the police may consider that you are breaking the law. But the real worry over this would be, of course, that this is a piece of road that is used day and night, and that it is likely to be a great distraction to drivers.
I get the impression that people want to jump off the QE2 bridge anyway, and it's just the fact that whether they want to make it legal or not. And I suppose if you make it legal, it's more regulated and it'll be done safer than if just somebody turns up and does it because they feel like it.
Well, if it was made legal, then it would be properly planned. The people with responsibility for that bridge, for those roads, would be able to ensure the safety not only of the people who are doing this, but because, for instance, when they jump off, they don't even know whether what they're jumping off is safe in terms of just the structure that they will be standing on, for instance. But they would be able to, if they wanted to, and I doubt if they would want to, you know, control the traffic, etc. But of course what these people are doing, I suppose, if they do it without proper authority, is that they are being extremely selfish, because they are prepared to have a bit of fun themselves but potentially put somebody else's life at risk.
Well, what about if they say, OK, if you all want to do this, everybody do it at the same time, we'll close the road for 10 minutes and then everybody can get on with it?
Well, that's up to them then. I mean, you know, if, as I say, if they feel that they're quite happy to do it and they have the, you know, we'd always recommend if you're going to do anything like this, you've obviously got the skills, the training, the right gear to do it and the right experience. If you have all of those things, then that's down to you. If you don't have all of those things and you still want to do it, and the organisers want you to get away with it, again, that is on your own head, isn't it? You're an individual who's taking that responsibility. But if you start doing things which directly affect other people and other people's safety, then really you should be more responsible to you know, other people in society, because the people who are injured or their relatives will not think it was a great piece of fun.
And you can learn more about legal base jumping at ukprobase.com.
BBC Radio Kent with Matt Davison.